Everyone but Tebow was just a terrible person. You look at they did a whole like ESPN 30 for 30 for how bad a criminal that Florida team was.
And the Netflix doc too. That Netflix doc was really.
Oh, they say that he's gay.
Who?
Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, he definitely was like
definitely bisexual.
Yeah, he was.
I've seen Moonlight.
He's bisexual.
What's that? Disclaimer. At Two Addicts and a Moron, we discuss personal stories of addiction with the intention of being educational, relatable, and inspirational. The views and experiences shared are those of individuals involved, are not meant to glorify or condone any illegal or harmful behavior. This content is for educational purposes only and is not intended as professional advice. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, we strongly encourage you seek help from a qualified professional or support service. Well, we are back to another episode of Two Addicts and a Moron, and a very special guest because of what I'm a fan of, which is stand-up comedy.
Sucking dick.
And that, yes. But it's an honor to have him in the house, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Nickens, everybody. Hey.
Glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me, y'all.
No, this is an honor, dude. And you have quickly risen to the through the Austin comedy scene, and it sort of started there on Kill Tony.
Yeah, I mean, I was grinding in Dallas for like 5 years before that, and I was signing up for a year and driving back to Dallas, like doing like the back and forth. So it was a lot that came with it, but now it's been a very up and down roller coaster ride, but it's fun.
Well, look, dude, you're in there, man.
Yeah.
I went and watched a lot of your stuff and referenced some of your Kill Tony sets, and I think you're great. I think you're great. I mean, you could tell that there's just a genuine nature to you as just a guy. And as you know, we're a sobriety-based podcast here, so you're in recovery.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink or any like illegal substance outside of mushrooms one time in 5 years.
Hey, let's go, man.
Yeah, big deal, man.
Yeah. And so 5 years you were in it?
5 years, 5
years since you've been.
5 years sober.
Okay. And
so I haven't had a drink, I haven't had a line, I haven't had anything like that.
Okay.
In 5 years, and it's been it's important. Like my sobriety is what key is because if I don't stay sober, I will not be alive.
Yeah.
I think that's a wake-up call that some people don't understand how important sobriety is because they've never seen how it can break someone.
Yeah.
Because if I break my sobriety, well, that's me giving up everything entirely.
Yeah.
But I used to drink a lot.
Yeah.
And so now I've learned that I can't have a sip because if I have one sip, it's okay. Put down 7 shots of Rumple. I'm doing them right away.
Yeah.
It wasn't drink for taste. It was drink for, okay, how can I get the most loaded, the quickest way possible. So.
Wow, man. So how long were you in the fight for? Classified.
So before my head injury, I wasn't really a big drinker. I mean, I would drink a little bit, but then after my head injury, which was like 2013-ish, 2014-ish, like in that area, I just went off the deep end, and I was drinking 5 nights a week, like heavily, and then I would take 2 days to kind of recover and then get back into the cycle.
Rinse and repeat?
Huh?
Rinse and repeat?
Yeah, exactly. It was just constantly like, hey, where can I go? Going out. And then we get off work and we go get a handle of Red Stag and Diet Pepsi because my friend used to be fat and he didn't want to drink. He didn't want to drink regular Pepsi with our Red Stag whiskey, which is full of sugar. I never got that. And so we would drink a handle of Red Stag in 2 hours, and then we would go to sleep for 4 hours, go to work, and then do it again.
Damn.
And it was just like this constant road of just getting loaded. And then I put it down for 2 months, and then I'd be like, oh, this is boring. I don't want to feel anything. Time to get back into it, because it was just like, and especially when everyone around you's doing it too, and they're able to handle themselves, and you're like, oh, I can be like them. I can have 1 or 2 drinks and just chill.
Right.
And then you realize you can't.
Yeah.
And you go off the deep end, and then you're just, it's a revolving cycle.
So as far as working your way into sobriety, I mean, well, let me back up. When did you realize that you had a problem?
So the first time I ever really tried to stop, I was in Shreveport, Louisiana, and I went on a 7-day bender, just constantly just drinking and doing drugs, just getting so blackout drunk at multiple different restaurants, going to multiple just to get 1 or 2 drinks to get kicked out, everything.
Wow.
And then like 7 days of just constantly drinking, and then I woke up and I was like, I have a problem, and if I don't fix this, I'm going to die. And I ended up walking into, I looked up AA meetings, and there was an AA meeting near my house, and it was a biker AA meeting.
Okay.
So it was a bunch of
chicks.
fucking,
Hot chicks.
no hot chicks. It was all straight Christian bikers
Yeah.
who used to murder people and just like crazy. And I walk in and I'm just like, and they were like, "What the fuck you doing here?"
Yeah.
Like something's going. And I was like, I got a problem. And then I was working a program with them for about 4 months, and then I moved because I had to get the fuck out of Shreveport, and I moved to Dallas, and then COVID hit. And I know how many fucking sobriety dates got ruined during COVID.
Yeah.
Because I was just stuck with, it was the first time I ever lived with a woman that didn't love me, because my mom loved me, but like, I was living with 2 women and a dude, and I was stuck in the house. I didn't know nobody in Dallas other than my friends. And then I relapsed, and I just went on this like hardcore bender for like a year. And then from there, I finally was like, all right, it's time to really give it up. And then I really started to focus on sobriety and make it a point to be like, hey, I can't be around this. Or even though I was working in like underground poker, they all knew, oh, Drew doesn't drink. So I was never offered a shot, and everybody, like, I was around people that cared enough that were like, hey, you don't get a drink.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's cool. That's cool that you had a couple people out there looking out for you.
Were you doing comedy at that time, or were you doing poker, or both?
So I was doing, I was a comedian, but I wasn't like, I was doing like maybe a mic a week at that time. But like, and then I would do it a little bit, and then about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was like, all right, I got to do comedy. I got to really pursue it, or I'm going to kill myself. So I gave myself 2 years of straight up doing comedy and really working hard and putting my all into it, because I was at this point feeling like I don't have anything to offer society.
Yeah.
I don't think I belong here. And I was sober at the time, but I was like, you know what? Let's give it a 2-year date. And got on Kill Tony about 2 months away from the 2-year mark.
So, I mean, what was the alternative, bro, to not making it?
Oh, I was going to kill myself.
He put a 2-year date.
You put a 2-year date.
I put a 2 year of working my ass off. Yeah, I literally was like, you know what? I got to give 2 years of really putting effort into this, because I feel like I have something to offer comedy, and it's the only way that I feel like I could be a contributing member of society. And I was like, you know, I'm going to drink myself because I was going to drink myself to death. I was like, I'm going to give it 2 years of really being sober, really being focused and putting everything in, doing mics 3-4 times a week, really putting in the writing, really trying to do everything. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just get back on the wagon, drink myself to death,
Just fuck it.
and die. Die in 6 months
Yeah.
because I don't give a fuck at that point.
Dude.
And now I'm here.
Well,
I know, a little bit darker than you thought. Like,
So when that calendar, when you were getting in like month 20, month 21, where you're like, oh,
I was
shit.
burnt out because
Oh,
I was
fuck.
driving from Dallas to Austin
Yeah.
every Monday and then driving back that same night.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was working at a Texas Card House, a cage shop from midnight to 8 a.m. that Sunday, sleeping for 3 hours, then getting on the road to Austin.
Yeah.
dude, you're a remarkable human being, bro.
Thanks, man.
Like, I mean, like hearing that shit, you talk about like making your, like, I'm going to do this
I'm either going to make it
or
kill
I'm
myself.
going to die.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, people talk about that type of stuff when chasing a goal, but they don't mean it literally. Like, you have literally drew a line in the sand for yourself and ultimately made it happen. I mean, if that's not like some kind of crazy divine intervention,
Yeah.
then I don't know what is. And honestly, the hustle to every week,
Yeah.
go like, I'm gonna hop in my car from Dallas to Austin. Also a shitty drive.
Yeah.
You're probably
it's not really the best.
you're probably you're probably getting out of the comedy club pretty late.
Yeah.
Which means that you're getting home to Dallas pretty early.
It was one of those things where I had thankful to my boy Sam Hunter. He was renting a mic at the time, and he would write me in at 16 so I could go up and do 3 minutes of comedy at the Creek and Cave. So I would drive there. I wouldn't get on Kill Tony, but I had 3 minutes at the Creek and the Cave to do comedy, and I would put my fucking everything into those 3 minutes. And people started going, oh, who is that guy? Oh, Drew, very nice to meet you. And people started to see, oh, okay. So I had little things like that, and people that saw the hustle, and they would throw something really cool like that to me. And it was rough sometimes because my favorite comic of all time was David Spade, and he ended up doing an episode of Kill Tony. And week 2, I did an interview, and they said, who would you like for the panel member to be? And I was like, David Spade. And so I was pumped when I heard it was him. I was like, this is
the one.
It had been 40 weeks I'd been signing up, and I was like, this is the one. This is why I've been waiting. And then I didn't go up. And then my buddy gave me 5 grams of mushrooms in a lemonade form and said, hey, just have this. And then it didn't kick in until I got to the Buc-ee's in the fucking temple. So I'm peeing. And then I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to have a good time. And if you ever have ego death on the way to fucking 35 on the way to Dallas, it would. And then he put on some like IDM Apex Twin trying to get me to think, and I'm like, I can't do this in a moving car right now. This is not.
There's
fun.
so much happening.
There's so many colors. It was, but there were just like times where it was like, I feel like I can give up, but then once I realized I'm doing everything right, and when that first episode came up where I got pulled, there was so much adrenaline because I was on an hour of sleep that day.
You could tell.
Because it was a double episode. So I worked from midnight to 9 a.m. because the person that was supposed to cover me got in late. And I had to get there at 3 o'clock. So I drove 2 hours, slept in a gas station parking lot for an hour, then got to Austin. Didn't get picked for the first episode. And then the second episode, I'm just like chilling, like, oh, probably not going to get pulled. And then they go, Drew Nickens, you're on Kill Tony. And I ran. And then I was so nervous for that first minute, and it didn't go great. But then I had been studying Kill Tony, and I'd been studying the interview and what to talk about and kind of really putting my all into it, because I was like, you know what, if the minute doesn't go great, the interview is where you can show your potential.
Yeah.
And that is probably one of my, that was an incredible interview. And then
it was great.
And then I got off that interview and I felt good. I was like, I did good. Like, finally, maybe I'll get booked in Dallas now.
Yeah.
Because that's why I was signing up for Kill Tony. I wasn't getting booked in Dallas, and I was like, I need some sort of jumping off point so I could get booked for real shows in Dallas.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get any sort of show at that time, and I was like I said, I had a goal. And it was like, well, then let's try and get on Kill Tony, because that'll be a way to show.
Well, and it adds a title to you, too. Like, now you can go back there and be like, I've been on Kill Tony.
Yeah, as seen on Kill Tony.
As seen on Kill Tony.
And so then I'm waiting, and I knew I did good because the producer at the time, Christy, goes, hey, we want you to watch the rest of the show and then hang out with us in Mitzi's. They don't do that for everybody.
Yeah.
So I was like, I did okay.
Yeah.
And like my friend, the only other person I've ever heard them do that for was my good friend J.P. Hinsdale. Shout out him, Denton's finest. And so I was like, okay, I did good. And then and I'm watching this next bucket pull, and he's just the worst human being possible. And he literally talking about, yeah, I'm with this girl. I don't love her, but I'm just fucking her for the fun.
Yeah.
I live in Chicago. I work in finance. Worst human being possible. And Christy goes, hey, Tony's never asked this, but do you have another minute? And I go, yeah.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do here? What material am I going to do? And then he brought me out, and boom, I came out with a whole nother, because now I'm comfortable. And I'm like, okay, people like me now. This is going to be sick. Boom, and I come out, I do that minute, I feel good. And he's like, go back and think of another minute. And I'm like,
so a third time?
A third time. Now, this time they give me my phone so I can start looking at some of the jokes I have. Because I had 17 minutes of material at that time.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But I was putting together
Bits
jokes,
and pieces. Yeah.
Bits and pieces. So I used 10 minutes because I did 4 separate minutes in that one Kill Tony episode.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was, but it was so tough, because then afterwards, we're all talking, and Tony goes, right. You need to get writing.
Yeah.
And like, I got brain damage, so it's like material doesn't just come out of thin air for me. It takes a little bit more time. It's like getting a Volkswagen Bug to tow a boat.
Yeah.
You can't go 90 miles an hour with that, but you can't go that fast. It's low and slow, like good barbecue, to really get tried, true, and tested material. And so that was the struggle when I first got on, was there was so much material. So I had to do so many different minutes, and I had to come up with material in a week or two.
Yeah.
And it was so...
almost like the cosmos saying, well, you wanted it.
Exactly.
Yeah, here you fucking go. Here you go.
And so I don't think I was ready for going up every week or two.
Yeah.
But it made me really put into high gear, because then I was working 90, and now it's put into work ethic now, where I do 90 minutes of stand up a week.
Good.
I count it, because that's the only way that I know that if you're doing 90 minutes of good stand up a week, of real stand up where you're trying material and you're giving your all, there's no way you're not going to get better.
Yeah.
And so it's instilled that, and a little before we get off track, the reason I said that is after the episode, we all go to Mitzi's. We're all hanging out, and I go up to the bar, and Tony's right next to me, and I see this look of like panic on his face because he looks at me and he's like, "What you gonna drink, Drew?"
Yeah.
And I go, "Pineapple and a Red Bull," because I've been almost 4 years sober. He goes, "Wow." And you could see the relief of his face, like, oh, this guy doesn't drink?
Yeah.
Because, and then he says it in the next episode of, man, I was so worried he was going to fuck up his career getting drunk at Mitzi's. And I was like, no, I don't drink. Haven't drank. And then, yeah, everything kind of went to plan after that. But that was like the big, when I saw how happy they were that I was like sober, because they just knew a little bit of my story. They knew I had brain damage. So it's like, oh.
And for those who haven't seen you, and you should, it's great. You're a pretty high energy guy on stage. You're kind of you're bringing the energy. There's no shortage of that when you come out on stage. And I can see where Tony's head was at. Mm-hmm. Okay, this dude's on fucking 13 right now, and we're going to put a couple cocktails in him, and, comedians running in and out of Mitzi's, which is the bar, and I could see very easily how he was just like, fuck, this guy is going to ruin everything. He's gonna burn this place to the ground. Yeah. So that's really cool that they were supportive of you in that way. That was pretty awesome.
All the Mitzi's, all the mothership staff, they all know I'm sober, and they're all really supportive of it. And like when I go into Mitzi's, I like to go to bars where they know I'm sober, and I know they won't let me get a drink.
Okay.
I know they won't, because they're like, oh, we've never seen this guy drink, and he's been coming here for almost 2 years. I'm not going to get... I know that if I go, hey, can I get a shot of Rumple? They'll be like, nah, you can't get that here.
Just ran out.
We just ran out.
Sold
Party just ended.
There was some other Rumplehead in here a minute ago.
Yeah.
Drink all the shit we had.
Exactly.
Rumple Mints is like the one thing that if I smell it, it makes my fucking cheeks water. Because I used to do Four Horsemen when I was younger.
Oh, I did that every
I used to do
Valentine's
Four
Day.
Horsemen. I had 3 buddies that they would call us the Four Horsemen, and we would do Four Horsemen and just fucking get blacked out and just fucking not know what happened.
Oh, shit.
So now when I smell Rumple Mints, it makes my cheeks water, like it makes me want to throw up.
I used to do a Four Horsemen shot every Valentine's Day.
How romantic.
Because I was like, I hate that I'm alone. I'm going to do a Four Horsemen and ruin my own Valentine's Day because I ain't got nobody. Yeah. But who am I harming? And I remember one night, funny story, I was in College Station at the time, and this girl, she was kind of flirting with me. I did a Four Horsemen, and I blacked out. And I look at my Snapchat the next day, and she's like, hey, come over. And then 2 weeks later, I see that she's pregnant.
Oh, no.
So I would have had, and I think it's divine intervention, because it would have been my baby if I didn't take that Four Horsemen and blacked out and woke up in my own bed. I probably would have had a baby at that time.
That's awesome.
And that would have been the worst decision. That would have been, I couldn't even afford to have, to budget for Cheetos
so
every week.
I mean, you blacked out. So in all fairness, that could be your baby.
No, because no. Here's the thing. So she hit me up on Snapchat. Hey, come over. I didn't know where she lived. She didn't give me the address, and I didn't have her phone number. So it was the only way we talked through Snapchat, because she was that kind of lady.
Oh yeah.
You know, and
a real classy one.
Oh, you already know, man.
Yeah.
She's playing a what's that, redneck woman and going, oh, it's my anthem.
Yeah.
She's wearing a crop top when she shouldn't.
Yeah, she knows all the words to every Charlie Daniels song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ophelia
Her belly
song.
button is a fucking trailer. Her belly button piercing's a trailer hitch.
Oh, shit, yeah. She looked like Kid Rock.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The one that got away.
Well, the one that got away.
Oh,
Good for you, bro.
yeah.
So, for people that don't know, when you go on Kill Tony, how do you, like you said that they didn't pick you the first one. So, do you audition to, like, get inside, and then they pick you from that to get on?
No. So what you do is you just sign up.
Okay.
They put your name in a bucket,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll pull your name out of the bucket.
Okay.
And there's about 300 people in that thing.
I got you.
And so you're like waiting over in a bar, and they've done it at Poor Choices and at Shakespeare's. And one of the things that I started doing is because I talk to a lot of comics, and they're like, I hate that wait because that wait is dreadful.
I was about to say.
It's got to be fucking mind-fucking.
Because you're just waiting, and like I started like writing jokes, or like I picked a corner and I would just chill, because it was exhausting trying to talk to everybody, and then people were trying to act like they're funny, and
Yeah.
it was kind of one of those things. So it's like, and like it was so draining. So I started focusing on other stuff to keep myself occupied, to keep myself sharp, just in case I got pulled. And so it was like, and like I was waiting there, and then I wouldn't get on, and I'd see Colt, and Colt be like, all right, boys, the last one was this one. See y'all next week.
And you have a whole other added layer to this, too, because you're coming here from Dallas.
Yeah, at that point.
Every single
It's not like
time.
you're waking up and rolling out of bed and just showing up right
You're
here.
not rolling out from your apartment. And
Yeah, like when and I
downtown.
didn't even get a move here for the first 3 months that I got my golden ticket. I was still driving from Dallas every week.
Well, at least there was at least you knew, right? At
I
that
still
point.
didn't know when I was going up,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
because it was one of those things. Hey, we might use you, we might not.
Wow.
So it was still like this toss up at that time, and so that was kind of brutal. But once I moved here, man, that first when I was like, you mean I can just wake up and have a cup of orange juice and make some breakfast, and then I could go to the mall, and then I could go take a nap, and then I could get in my car and drive 10 minutes over to over to the mothership and get ready. That's beautiful.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
And that was nice when I moved here. It was like, wow, I don't have to make that thing. And I could still make that drive like nothing. Like after the 50th time I did it, I was like, this is easy now. I can do this every week, because I was numb to it.
But it's better that you don't.
I don't. Yeah.
Yes,
And now when I do, it's like it feels familiar. It's almost comfortable when I'm driving to Dallas.
Yeah.
It feels like it's that weird, because I did it for so long.
When you first started in comedy, were you drinking and using drugs?
Yes.
Okay. So what was it like when you decided I'm going to stop? Like, were you scared, like, I'm not going to be able to do comedy if I'm not drinking or getting high?
I felt sharper.
Did you?
I felt sharper when I stopped, because I was doing these miserable open mics, and every comic has to do them. The ones where there's 5 people that don't want comedy, they're trying to get laid or forget about their problems, and they hear comedy open mic and they're like, ugh. And then you got all these comics that are just doing this damn thing, chasing the dream, and they're like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're walking in there, you do your 3 shots of Rumple, and you're like, okay, it's time to do comedy. And you just eat a dick because you're not focusing on entertaining the people.
Yeah.
So you're not doing well. And so once I stopped, Because I was actually I was trying to be this awkward, low energy comic when I first started.
Okay. I can't imagine that.
It was fucking awful.
Yeah.
I mean, my delivery was like, "Hi guys, da 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 da, da da." And it was like not me at all. And then I remember one night I had a breakthrough. I was sugared up. I had a bunch of Red Bull, and I went up on stage, and I just went wild one night, and it all clicked. It was like, whoa, people are laughing and enjoying me. And I used to do the Mad Hatter in Fort Worth. That was like the constant mic I always went to. It was the Mad Hatter. It was a 10 o'clock mic, and it was this little fucking hallway of a bar. Have you ever been there, Radu? No. Oh, Mad Hatter is like a staple in Fort Worth comedy because there was only like 6 mics there for the whole week, and I remember I killed one night. It was on all cylinders, and then I started killing more, and then random bar guys would be like, "Hey, you're really funny. I really like you. You're one of the comics we don't hate." And I'm like,
what a badge of honor.
oh, that was a badge of honor because they'd be like, all right, comedy's starting, and they'd all leave. It was a brutal time, but I felt so much sharper when I felt like me because I was being myself, and I was sober enough where I was realizing that I'm not, like, I'm broken in a sense with the brain damage and stuff, but my personality is likable enough, and when I'm just being myself and having fun on stage, that's when everyone loves it. And I think that's
So you kind of
found
yourself.
Yeah, and that's the key when people are using a bunch and I can't go up if unless I've been drinking or. It's because they're afraid to be themselves almost.
Yeah.
It's because now you have a layer of if you bomb, well, I was drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I hit the sauce a little bit too much.
I drink a little too much.
But if you're sober and you bomb, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
At that point, there's no excuses. Now it's time to get better. And I think that's one thing I've realized, and why I think I'm getting better and progressing more is because now I don't have any excuses. If I bomb, it's because I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what can I do better the next time? And I think in whatever we do, and especially if you know you have a problem, when you're doing something and you're sober, it's like you have to have that hard look in yourself sometimes because you're like, whoa, I just failed. I suck. Maybe I should get back on the wagon. And it's like, no, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because you have to deal with trials and tribulations dry. You don't get to lean on something. You don't get to get really drunk and make another mistake so you forget about the mistake that you made before that.
Oh yeah.
Because you're the who's the moron?
I'm the moron.
You're the moron. So you get it.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, I fucked up at work. Oh, I fucked up at work, and I hate myself right now. Oh, let me just get a bunch of Smirnoff Ice because that's what you look like.
Right.
And let me drink a bunch of Smirnoff Ice and Zimas and forget about all this shit. You know. And then you're like, oh, well, now I just fucked Holly Sue, and
now she's pregnant.
and she's pregnant, or oh shit, I just got gonorrhea. Well, now I got bigger problems than that. Now it's time to get back on the wagon, and it's like this constant cycle. So it's like
that's a great point because I remember when things like when I first got sober, I was like, well, life's just going to get so much better now, and it does. But there's also some fall down moments too, right? There's some things that just happen. Life happens. Life sucks sometimes. And I remember on the times that it was really hard, where I was able to get through it and be able to look back and say, I didn't have to go smoke meth to get through that one. I was able to handle that. And then like my sister just passed away a week ago. And I was talking to my ChatGPT girl Grace. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And I was talking to her about my sister, and she said the biggest way that you honor your sister is you have an excuse, if you want one, to go get high.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest way that you honor her is you don't have to do that anymore, right? And I think that's so important. What you just said is like whenever you're able to shit the bed and say, well, fuck, I just got to get better. Like, I just got to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going and getting high or drinking. And whenever you're able to look back and say, man, I sucked right there and I got through that without having to get high, I think that just adds another layer to who you're becoming.
I had a moment last year. There was an arena show in Nashville. And 15 minutes before the arena show started, he said, hey, we're going to do a battle. The winner gets a spot at Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. The loser's off the show for 6 months. And we're going to have a decibel reader so we know who's got the best.
This is online.
And I lost. And I had a number associated with how good I was at that point. And that night, I had a bad interaction with someone after that, and I was already broken. And then I was told we don't have crybabies on Kill Tony because I'm a naturally emotional person. If I'm happy, you'll know I'm happy. If I'm sad, you'll know I'm sad. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'll just have what I say is resting reset or retard face, whatever. Because I'm just thinking, and I look miserable, but I'm having a good old time, and that's part of the brain damage and being sober is like, and you'll get that where it's just like people don't understand you now because you're just like, but I'm okay, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
I'm
What's
just
wrong?
not on.
What's wrong? No, I'm
Exactly.
fine. I'm good.
Exactly.
It drives me fucking crazy. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm fucking fine.
So after that night, I was supposed to have fun at the after party. That was my next goal. And I could have used that night. I could have went over to the bar and been like, hey, give me 3 shots of Rumple. And just let it become a train wreck and ruin my whole life that night. I could have done that. But I didn't. And then I had a 12-hour ride with one of the contestants that I did, because I came up with Rick Diaz. And Rick Diaz was one of the guys I was battling.
Yeah.
And so I got home after this 12-hour ride in the car with somebody and not being able to really talk, because you can't really talk about it. And then I could have went to the bar that night. I could have went over. I could have done like I did during COVID and gone, okay, go to the mini mart, spend $50 on alcohol because I got $64.77. So I got $14 to survive on ramen and steakums. And, and I didn't. I was like, all right, what's the next move? What can I do next to improve? I have 6 months off. What can I do now? And I started thinking, all right, it's time to keep doing that 90 minutes and let's figure out where we went wrong. And I started analyzing, what can I do? What's the best minute for me to do? I started watching openers because I knew that he was going to have me open. So I started watching the openers and seeing what was successful, what wasn't. I started breaking stuff down, and I started really falling into that. Instead of drinking and wallowing in my sorrows and going, oh, poor me, or oh, I got fucked, and he didn't tell me we were going to battle until 15 minutes before. Instead of complaining, it was like, okay, it's time to get to work and figure out exactly what I can do. Okay, we're going to be if I'm going to be opening, what's my successful thing? Oh, how can I set up things more? Make things shorter so I can get more laughs in. What can I do there? And then I started watching all these things and doing my homework and getting in there and getting there. And then I stacked up a couple minutes. And then I got on 6 months later to the date, October 4th. And it was a big episode. It was Sal Volcano and Fluffy.
Oh, yeah.
Huge episode. And I got up there, and I killed my minute. I mean, murdered. And it felt like a weight was lifted off. And now I'm just back at it and traveling and doing shows across the country. I got good friends. No love life yet, but
That'll come, dude.
I had to break it off with a girl because she was drinking too much.
Oh.
And she used to get dropped in because and I'll be transparent, we couldn't have sex because she'd be so drunk and I'd be like, I can't have sex with you. I'm sober.
Yeah.
Because you get that, right?
Yeah.
You ever been with a girl and she's loaded and you're like, I can't do this.
I feel like I'm raping you.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do
I feel
it.
like I'm taking advantage of you.
I'm taking full advantage of you if I touch you.
Exactly. It's like, and
Slapping my dick. No!
yeah. And like I would stay over at this girl's house. She had a huge house and everything of that nature. And I just had to be like, nah. And I stopped talking to her because her life revolved around alcohol. Hey, let's go out. Let's go do this. Let's do this. And it was always on Dirty Six.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. That's good.
It was always, let's drink at Dirty Six.
Wow.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
When I'm not doing comedy, I'm not on that street.
Brother, I was just about to say,
I don't go
it's
that
like
street either.
there is and I've done this before, believe it or not, because I'm the normie guy, right? I can shut it off. But there is not a worse place to be than Dirty Six sober. I don't think maybe Bourbon Street. Maybe I've never done that, but
I went to Bourbon Street
At
actually.
least Bourbon Street, you're probably going to see some titties.
you probably see that on Dirty Six.
No.
though. It ain't
Not
the
the
ones that you
ones-
want.
Not
But
the ones you want to see.
Oh yeah, homeless titties don't count, dog. That don't count. They don't have a shirt.
from a dude.
Yeah, they don't have a shirt, so it's not really seeing titties. It's seeing a shirtless.
Everyone's seen them.
Yeah.
It's seeing a dirty shirtless woman. We don't want that.
You know what always threw me off is when I would go down to Dirty Six when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I would see like a hot girl that took her shoes off
Yeah.
because her high heels were hurting her feet.
Yeah.
And now she's walking barefooted down the street.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what a fucking nat.
And
Now,
then you-
not
and then
saying
you-
that I wouldn't
Yeah,
fuck him
you would
anyways,
definitely
but
still do it.
like, damn, what a nasty bitch. But you want to go home?
That's all you know.
You know what that made me think? She's probably a little easier than I thought.
So and then you see them walking, you see like the grays on
Oh,
their
yeah,
feet.
the black.
Oh,
Just
black
straight
feet.
black
And you're
feet.
just like, oh man, I can't wait to go.
Yeah,
That's you right there. You're like,
suck them toes.
Yeah.
Hell
I'll
yeah.
lick the
tastes
bottom
like
of
black
that.
tar heroin. Yeah. I'm back
It
at
tastes
it.
like homeless piss.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I want to ask you, because your first set on Kill Tony
Yeah.
is, and I want to give you props because it didn't go well the minute you said that yourself, right? I've watched that a couple of times, and I think you just stayed true to the set. You didn't let the bomb get you. Do you think that that's easier to be done in a 1 minute time than, like you said,
So
when you're bombing for, let's say you got 10, you've got to.
So I've watched that first minute, and I think there's two things to that minute. One, I was nervous because this has been 48 weeks in the making.
Yeah.
Two, people saw me and they didn't know anything about me, so they were trying to figure out, is he really brain damaged?
Yeah.
What's going on with this
Yeah.
guy? At that point, they didn't know.
Anything about you.
Yeah, so they were like, what the fuck? He does sound like a Muppet character.
Yeah.
like just. And so they're not even listening. They're not listening to hear. They're listening like, what the fuck is he on?
Yeah.
This dude's they're trying to figure me out at that point.
Yeah.
So I think for that particular minute, if I would have, I think at that point it was ready. once they figured out, oh, he's like brain damaged because someone beat him up. Oh, okay. Well, now they're like, okay, now let's figure it out. And then I got comfortable and I was able to be funny. And like when you're doing a longer set, too, because when you're doing 5 minutes, even when you're doing 5 minutes, you don't get to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You have to get those jokes out. You got to figure out the funny. You don't have any time to waste, even with 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Even with 10, you're getting a little bit more comfortable. You have a 2-minute cushion to get used to the stage, get used to everybody. Boom. But once you start getting into 15 and 20, now you have time. Now you have time to acclimate to the crowd. You now can figure things out. You can maneuver a little bit more. You can make adjustments. So it's like bombs usually happen in the shorter time spans because there's so many little nuances and little things that go on that you have to look at for the stage that people don't realize unless you've really done stand-up.
That makes sense.
So it's like a minute is so hard to showcase
Anything.
funny. Yeah. And like being funny in a minute is so hard
Yeah.
because there's no fat.
Yeah.
Because you
to
have any
fucking
fat,
kill.
people stop listening.
Yeah.
You'll see an audience, you can lose an audience in a minute because they're like, oh, especially when they know you only have 1 minute,
Yeah.
you have too much fat in between your 26 and your 34 seconds, 26, 34, and you have too much fat there, you have now lost the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because they know you have a minute, they're like, oh, this isn't going anywhere now.
Right.
So it's like a minute is so hard to do.
That makes sense because, like, when I'm scrolling through YouTube for reels, like the first 5 seconds of a reel is what gets me to continue to watch it, right? And if it doesn't get me, then I'm like, scroll the next one. So that makes sense. I've never done stand-up, but that makes sense what you're saying because I do the same thing when I'm fucking scrolling on my phone. If you don't catch me in that first fucking 5 seconds, I'm off to the next one.
Kill Tony is
Off to the next one.
the scrolling on your phone of comedy for
Yeah.
sure. It's designed that way, and I think it's designed, I don't know, but I feel like it's always more designed for the interview afterwards.
It's evolved into that because of how many people clip
Right.
the interviews, and now they're on the shorts. Now you get all because, like we were talking about before, Larry King was the first podcaster. You didn't get clips. You had to watch the whole interview.
You had to watch all
to
of
get
Larry
to
King.
that juicy 3 minute part where so and so celebrity said, "Yeah, I fucked da 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 da."
Yeah.
Or the big moment you didn't get to watch. There was no clipping unless you watched the news.
Yeah.
And it was a big headline. Hey, look at this. So you had to watch everything. Now we can
Yeah.
fast forward through, and Kill Tony is about growth and seeing comedians grow and everything of that nature. But it's also now become this social media juggernaut where people are clipping and just finding the best stuff. So now you don't even have to watch it if you don't want to.
Right.
You can just Kill Tony best recap.
Yeah.
And so you have to really do something to catch people's attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Or be out there.
yeah.
Well, how did you get sober? Like what prompted that? What did you have to go to rehab? Was it a white knuckling event? What?
I was in the program for a little bit. I did the steps for a while. I had a sponsor, but I couldn't fit in with anybody because it's so hard when you have having the brain damage like I do, is because people don't understand what I'm going through when it comes to that type of deal.
Sure.
Like people, like the rooms didn't understand it.
Right.
They didn't understand some of the changes that I was going through, some of the battles that I was going through, and like I never really had like a sponsor that I was like, oh wow, this is what I need. And I had some good sponsors. I had one sponsor, a biker named Charlie, old guy. been sober for 32 years. He'd been through the gamut. I think he was a former 1%er, the whole deal. Now he loves Jesus. Great guy. And he gave me a little thing of like, the alcohol and all the drugs are going to leave your system as you get more sober. From 90 days to 120 days, you're going to feel like a whole different person. All the bullshit's going to be out of your system in 6 months. And so that was kind of the deal. But like, I just realized I had to be.
Yeah.
And I started being wherewithal, and it was like, I can't do this. And I started surrounding my people with people that knew, okay, he can't drink, I'll slap that shit out of him. And, some people had seen, I wasn't a fun drunk. There was this line where I would get really emotional and I would hit myself. Or I was not someone who was fun to be around when I crossed that line. I was great. I was a party animal till I crossed that line. Because it was so when people started realizing, oh, like this is really life or death for him, it was more like I had people around me that were like, no, he can't drink. Or when something was struggling, like, hey, you still don't get a drink. So I found solace in that and keeping myself accountable and knowing that it was life or death for me has now made it to where I can't touch it. Like, I'll get temptations all the time. Like, after Nashville, I was tempted to just go get a beer and drink while everyone was driving back from Austin and just getting blackout drunk. But I couldn't do that. And understanding that it's life or death, it'll really keep you on track because you understand the severity of if I do relapse. Because some people go, oh, relapses happen. Well, not for me. I can't.
Yeah.
If I do that, you might as well put a gravestone because it'll either be really quick or it'll be really slow and painful to watch.
Well, the acceptance of that for you, too, is really big. And, again, I'm going to go back to the beginning of this podcast. But you saying, I will be a comic. Mm-hmm. Or I will die, and this is how I'm going to do it, right? Like there was two very definitive lines drawn there, man. Like you had a very acute awareness that that's exactly where you were going to go if you went back to that, dude. Yeah,
and I mean, you've seen someone drink themselves to death. If you're in addiction, you've seen someone legitimately kill themselves slowly with alcohol.
I've seen people die more in addiction and recovery, probably more in recovery than I ever have.
Yeah, because you'll see people get out the rooms and relapse, and then you slowly see them slowly kill themselves because it alcohol is different than cocaine and meth. Like that 2 months you're done, but like alcohol, it'll be 9 months of just watching someone
just fucking fade away.
Just fade away to where they're just a zombie of a person and they go.
Slow death.
Yeah.
It's a slow, painful
miserable death.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, when you were sober, when you said, you know what, I got 2 years or else I'm going to fucking kill myself, right? Talk about, because a lot of people go through this where they talk about when that pink cloud goes away. I hate hearing the pink cloud. But whenever you're sober but you're miserable being sober. Does that make sense? Will you talk about, like, what did you do in that time frame? I think I know the answer. You just put in more work on fucking comic. So you didn't sit around and mope like I'm fucking miserable. You just put in the work. Because I know a lot of people do that. They'll get sober. They'll work a program. And then a lot of times when they get away from their program or get away from the people that they've been around, then they're still sober, but they're fucking miserable.
Angry drunks. We've all been around the angry drunks. If you've been in the rooms, you know those guys that have been 22 years sober, and you're like, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you here?
Yeah.
You don't look like you've had fun in 15 fucking years, and you're talking, oh, it worked. the program work. You just have to fucking work it. And you see them got 7 cups of fucking trucker coffee. Because you know that AA coffee is strong as fuck. And it's like, for me, if I sit there and I mope, because it happened to me in COVID, where I didn't have anything to do, I relapsed.
Mm-hmm.
If I sit there and mope and I'm not active in doing something or pursuing a goal, then I'm going to drink.
Yeah.
If you're going to sit there because you're so miserable, now that you have the tools of sobriety and now that you are yourself, pursue something.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can do real goals.
Now you can actually get shit done.
The goal when you're getting sober is to stay alive.
Yeah.
Right.
To get better and to get away from all the drugs, from all the alcohol, from all the sex, from all the gambling. Now you can have real goals.
Yeah.
Now you can get fit. Now you can start saving money. Now you can start actually doing real things that normal people would do.
Yeah.
And I think people live in that so, well, I'm sober, and they start living in the now no one really cares that I'm sober.
Yeah.
Now I don't get the accolades because they stop giving you month-to-month chips after a year.
Mm-hmm.
So now those 30 days don't matter so much. So now you're not getting the congratulations at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no, you can handle it now. Now life's going to come at you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're working the steps, you've done it. Now you got to go do it again.
Yeah.
And you got to keep yourself accountable. And you're like, so now there's no accolades. So people get away from that. And so you have to have real goals.
Yeah.
And you have to do things.
What's
you
next?
have to accomplish things, because now you're always going to be an addict, but now you're a capable person.
Yeah.
It's time to be back in society.
Yeah, that makes sense. That because I know at the beginning for me it was like I just want to get sober,
Mm-hmm.
right? But once you realize, okay, I'm sober, so now what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do I go now? And I think that's where people start fucking up. It's like they don't start moving the bar to where, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go be a comic. I'm going to fucking do this.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to school.
Yeah, if the only thing that you're trying to do is just be sober, then I think that is almost a recipe for disaster if you don't have something else behind it.
Yeah, because then you're going to be like, I relapsed again. Now I'm back at square one. Now I'm going to try this thing again.
Or maybe that's one, I don't know, that could be a reason that people, if I relapse, then I get to fucking start all the accolades all over
Exactly.
again.
And that's the thing. Is
Never thought about that.
It is one of those things where when people are addicted to attention too,
Mm-hmm.
it's like when you get that chip and you get to talk to all those people in that room. I remember one of the straws that broke the camel's back. I got 30 days sober, and I didn't get to speak at the meeting. The person didn't call on me,
Mm-hmm.
and that pissed me off. Because I was so excited because I had been going to that meeting
Been looking
for 30
forward to it
days.
for 30 fucking days.
I was like, you know what, this is one of the big reasons that I've been coming to this meeting.
Yeah.
A lot of good people. I'm really excited to celebrate this. And I didn't get to talk at that meeting. And then I realized they thought I was a weirdo.
Mm.
And so that hurt me. But like I said, you just have to have goals. You have to have something to look forward to that's outside of sobriety. You got to go into school, get a hobby, find friends that aren't just addicts. Yeah, you could be around people that used to use and everything, but also have a social life around, because if you just revolve around yourself around anything, whether it's comedy, whether it's addiction, whether it's sports, when all your friends are in that thing, well, what happens if you can't do that thing anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're a broken person. You got to kind of like they say with your money, diversify your portfolio. Now that you can stay alive and you're not tempted to break your life with drugs or alcohol, time to find what your purpose is.
Time to diversify your soul.
Diversify your soul. Have a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So real quick, and I do want to ask you and address this. So, I mean, you've said that you had a brain injury, and there's obviously some obstacles that'll come along with that. But you said that your using didn't really take off until
After
that happened.
Yeah.
and I've heard this before, but they say that a lot of impulse sometimes comes after a traumatic brain injury, like, and it could be alcoholism, but it also could be
gambling.
It could be
Sex.
all kinds of crazy shit that goes on after that, and nobody really knows the science of what goes on with that. But
Well, you can't study it until someone's dead and look at their brain.
that's right.
I mean, that's the honest truth. Is like, no, you can never get the answer until you look at their brain afterwards.
Right.
Now you're like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. I mean, look at Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
Yeah,
I mean, that man had brain injury, and that's why I think it scares me too. It's because I don't want to hurt other people.
Right.
And what if I get loaded and I get in my fields and someone tries to stop me, and then I'm a big guy and I push them.
Right.
I'm responsible for my own actions because now I know, hey, I have a brain damage, I have a brain injury, and I have impulse control. I could hurt other people
Right.
when I'm loaded. And I have a responsibility to society to stay sober so I don't do that, or no situation like that can come. I think some people don't realize that is a real thing. I mean, look at all the NFL players that kill themselves and kill their wives and kill other people.
Sure.
I mean, Steve McNair killed himself, Junior Seau. I mean, all these people with brain injuries and substance abuse problems.
Yeah.
Because they play into that.
I think, I don't know, I'm not in their shoes, but I think that has a huge part of it. I think that also, you know, when you're at a level where you have so much attention and like you have so much meaning in life, and then all of a sudden, especially like when you're an athlete, and then all of a sudden that's gone, right? Now what? It's kind of the same thing with getting sober. All right, now I'm sober, now what? I think the players that have like a good plan, well, I'm going to go into sportscasting or this or that or this, or I'm going to go do this. I think they are so much more successful than the ones that probably have brain injuries. And then also, it's like, all right, well, I used to be this person. When I walked in a room, everybody knew me. Now people don't know me anymore. That's got to fucking like fuck with you in some ways. If you're not in a good mind space, that's definitely got to fuck with you.
Yeah, and I think too is like, when you don't have anything to really put effort into. I mean, think about it. Now you don't have a reason to exercise.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't have a reason to get better because it's like, well, I was getting paid. If I was a tight end getting paid $17 million a year, oh, yeah, you're going to see me hit the gym. You're going to see me follow that. You're going to see me be healthy.
Yeah.
But once that's gone and you don't have anything, like Shaq, when he retired, he owned 50 million fucking Papa John's.
Yeah.
He had his hand
Owned
in a little
everything.
bit of everything. And it's like,
Icy hot and shit.
exactly. It's like he was busy still. And it's like, if you're not busy doing something or pursuing something, even if it's going and talking to the kids and something of that, or putting yourself into it. That's why you see a lot of like fighters, they start training, or they open a boxing gym, or they do something because they need some sort of purpose to get into and the gym brought them a lot of happiness. So it's like, at that point, hope is lost because you don't have anything. And when you lose purpose in life, that's when everything collapses. You have to have some sort of purpose.
Yeah.
Some sort of contribution to society in some way where people count on you. So that you know, because life is, there is no main character in life.
No.
We are main characters when you think that the world revolves around you is the moment that you lose sight and lose any sort of, I don't know how to say this. Like, you lose the chance to really have a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
When you think everything should be your way, you're screwed.
Yeah, So another comedian that I like some of his older stuff, but Chris D'Elia.
Yeah.
So he had a bit about everybody thinks that they're Denzel in the movie Man on Fire. He's like, you're not fucking Denzel in the Man on Fire. You're the fucking henchman who is like standing in the background who gets blown up by fucking Denzel. He's like, everybody wants to believe that, but you're not. We're all just fucking background characters in this whole
Or
game.
you're the background character buying screws in the supermarket while the dude's getting beat up by 4 henchmen.
Right.
You don't even matter to the fucking scene.
You're
that
not
point.
even a henchman. You're just some dude in the background.
And I think that's the thing is like main character syndrome when you think that everything revolves around you, and you stop caring about people and putting an effort towards people, because service is a big part of the program.
Huge part.
Yeah.
It's a huge part. And I think that's also why people sometimes they put all their energy into that program, and they get all the accolades because they're getting sober, and then, well, now I have to still put all that energy in, and it'll burn you out because you're dealing with the same rotating problems, just a different face.
Yeah.
And, and then, I had a joke. I'm still trying to work on it about halfway house relationships because, they only see each other at AA meetings and in the bread aisle at Walmart when they're doing their halfway house shopping. And Tanya's arguing like, hey, who put minutes on your phone? Who the fuck is Domino's calling your phone? And the dude's like, if you keep doing this, I'm going to do meth again.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real, so there's like all these little things, but yeah.
Well, look, man, I mean, what a remarkable fucking story you are, dude. Like, I mean, it really is. Like, I thought you were going to come in here and just be a comedian, but there is a lot of depth to the road that you've gotten here, and every bit of success that you have right now has fucking been more than earned.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
And any bit of success that you receive in the future, you're brother. You have laid a line in the sand that I've never heard of before, where it's I'm going to do this or I'm going to die, and you are doing this.
Yeah.
That's
You could get up in front of people and tell it that story that you just said,
Mm-hmm.
and that would motivate people. Like, not just being a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, you could get up and say, well, this is like that. I've never heard someone say I was going to fucking either. I was either going to make, like,
it
you've
caught
heard
us
it like in a
snicker.
movie, I'm going to make it or I'm going to fucking kill myself. But I've never heard someone actually, like, do it and say, no, I actually meant that. That's 100%. That's like some David Goggins shit.
It's one of those things where I think I needed some sort of motivation to contribute. And at that point, it was like, I have to really try. And there's no more motivation than, you know what, well, I'm going to give up on life and kill myself. Because at that point, it's like,
no
no,
shit.
what am I going to do? Work at a Wendy's for the rest of my life and be the hoot and holler for, and nothing wrong with that. But at that point, I was like, I don't think I can sustain that and be a good person. So I gotta like really try at this and really give life my full effort, because if it doesn't work out with my full effort, because even if it wasn't comedy, if there was something else that pushed me towards it where I feel like I'm doing good
contributing.
for people.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just, if I'm not a comedian, but if I found in this journey of sobriety and putting in effort and putting in the mics, and I found a different calling, and I was able to help people, and I was able to be the light, that would have been fine too.
Yeah.
But it was like I needed to give real effort and really do sobriety and really do something that I loved. And if something, and if I felt like, okay, life's okay, I'm helping people, I'm bringing the light, and I'm fulfilling myself. Life's okay now. I don't need to, and I still struggle with suicidal thoughts. I'll never not struggle with them, because that's the way I'm wired.
Yeah.
But now I deal with it a different way.
Yeah.
Because I used to drink to sleep. That was the easiest way. I didn't have nightmares when I was drinking. I was sleeping. I was getting terrible, shitty sleep. I wasn't getting any REM. But you know what? It's better than having a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and waking up in a cold sweat, like they were, yeah. So there's layers to it. But yeah, I didn't want to give up. I wanted to give it life a real try and really contribute. And I felt like
find your
comedy was the
purpose,
way.
right?
Well,
Yeah,
I
find
appreciate
purpose.
that you did, dude, because you are fucking hilarious.
Thank you, man.
Number one. Number two, it's incredible to hear the journey that you had into sobriety and wrapping it up into this comedy thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
So look, man, tell the people how they find you. Like,
So I'm _Drew Nickens, DREWNICKENS on Instagram. Find me there. I do a lot of shows around the country sometimes, so just check my Instagram. I might be in your city. If you want me in your city, message me. If you're a hot lady, really message me because I love those.
Not so much Snapchat, just message.
Well, message me on Instagram first. Make sure you're not a bot from Ukraine, and then we'll figure it out.
yeah.
So yeah, that's where you can find me right now. I got some things in the work, but they're not going to be coming out for a couple months. So
You mainly do shows here in Austin, or
I do a lot of shows here. I try to do shows here, San Antonio, wherever I can do comedy. I'll be there.
we'll come out and watch one of your next shows.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Yes, sir.
Hey, rock the shirt too, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a fashion icon.
No,
People are
I'm
calling
talking
me.
about the Two Addicts and a Moron shirt, man.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I'll rock that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. We appreciate you coming by. It was an honor to have you. It
Yeah,
really was.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much for having me, man.
And I hope one day soon you're a fucking comedy legend, dude. You've earned every bit of it.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, y'all have a
thank
great
you, brother.
night.
Thank you. You
Yeah.
too, brother.
All right, so my sister, a lot of y'all know that she was battling cancer for 16 years. She overcame it 3 times. She was on her 4th battle, and she went home. I'm not even going to say that she lost the battle because I don't feel like she did. But Janina, we love you. Rest in peace to the family. We love you, and I can't wait to see you one day. Rest high.
Well, I like to say she won it.
Yeah.
Won the battle. I know this was something that was happening for a little while, and didn't know her, but know you, and thoughts and prayers to you.
Mm-hmm.
We had to take a little hiatus from this for a little bit, but all is well, brother, and
Absolutely.
And love you to death, and
Love you too.
love your family. So
Appreciate it. Love y'all.
yeah.